Have you ever died like this on Chalet? Okay.
Have you ever died like this on Chalet?
I'm joking. Have you ever died like this on Chalet? Or like this? Well, don't worry, because I've been master rank on jerk. I mean, what I meant to say was, I've been champion for many seasons on Rainbow. And with that being said, I'm going to show you how to play Azami in Chalet, and why you're playing Azami wrong, and how to improve. Now that we're in Mez, let's talk about what Azami will be doing on the top floor defense. Alright, so the strat is very simple. It's not complicated. It's a very aggressive strat that requires gun skill and map awareness. If you do not have those things, I still recommend you do this and practice it. At the end of the day, these type of positions is what will these type of positions is what will is what will make you a better player. We're gonna reinforce one wall and we're gonna make head holes on 2 walls. Now, you can have teammates helping you with this setup, or you can do it all by yourself. The one wall we're gonna reinforce is going to be this wall. Once you reinforce that wall, you're gonna go ahead and make 2 head holes. Okay, those are both head holes that you're gonna be using when defending top Mez. Now, the next thing you're gonna be doing is you're gonna put barb on both stairs that lead to Mez. The first barb is gonna go right here. And this will be your second barb placement. Once you place those barbs down, you're pretty much set. Next up, you're gonna be putting your kiba weebish. For your first kiba, it'll go right here. For your second kiba, make sure to place it in this specific spot. First, you're gonna look at the vase and slightly look up. Once you see this brick that has this thicker, darker crack in the middle, you're gonna wanna look to the left and place your kiba like so. For your third kiba, you'll place it on the second railing from left to right. Right on the middle. Okay, your setup is now complete. For your last 2 kibas, you're gonna hold on to them until you need to replenish any of these 3 kibas that you just placed on your prep phase. Now let's talk about the strat, how you Azami will be playing top mezzanine. Let's talk about the reinforcement on top mez. This reinforcement will protect you from getting wall banged if there are attackers that are pushing library window. Now, let's talk about the head holes. These head holes will help you Azami fight anyone pushing into library double or anyone from pushing on top of blue. Now, keep in mind, the attackers could upside down repel on library double and get a very nasty angle on you, so be very careful not to die to that. Now let's talk about the kibas. The first kiba is there to help you not get killed by the player on slant window. This is slant window, and this kiba is going to protect you from getting shot. Now, the attackers could get on top of this roof and get a very tight angle onto you, making it a very difficult fight for you, Azami, to have against them. So to prevent that from happening and dying to slant window, we're gonna go ahead and put this kiba there. Now, if your kiba does get shot, remember, you have 2 extra kibas to use in your disposal. Now, let's say you no longer have kibas. Well, it's okay, because you can still play this position without having to expose yourself to slant window. As you can see, you can still fight people without being exposed to slant. It's only at this point where you are completely exposed to slant. And keep in mind, just because the enemy team is on slant window, there's no need to worry, because normally there are head holes either on the left hand side of this wall or the right hand side on this wall, making it very difficult for the attackers to jump in the window and killing you. Pretend I'm the attacker right now, and I shot the kiba barrier, and I know there's an Azami playing on top of Mez, but the Azami is doing a really good job in not over peeking and not getting killed. So what do I do as the attacker? Well, I can't really do anything from this position, because if I jump in, the head holes are there, and I'd either get fried from the player on the head holes, or a player swinging piano, or even the Azami. The Azami barrier placed right here is just another layer of protection to help you Azami roam more freely on Mez without having to worry about slant window. But again, don't worry if it's gone. You can still play Mez. Now let's talk about the second kiba. The second kiba is pretty similar to the first kiba. It's there to allow you to play more freely on top of Mez without being limited to your space. Now let's talk about holding K9 from Mez side. When fighting K9, there's a few angles you need to worry about. That'll be left side, right side, the basic repel, and the upside down rappel. Something that you want to keep in mind when fighting canine side, the hardest fight you'll be getting into on that canine window is going to be the upside down rappel. Every other gunfight is going to be pretty simple, but like every upside down rappel, it's always hard to see the enemy. And for the third Kiba, is going to be pretty much like your last two Kibas. It's to give you more space to move around on top of Mez without having to worry about specific angles like K9 and even the players down below on lobby. Sometimes there will be players going down on lobby trying to sneak up on you to get a pre-pick on you, but the Kiba counters both the K9 and the lobby player that's trying to lurk up on you. That's pretty much it for this strat. Now, I do understand that there are multiple different strats that people like to do in the higher ranks when it comes to holding Mez. For example, sometimes you'll have a Mira facing library, or you'll have, for example, a Frost Shield facing towards Mez and blue so you can fight the footholds. I mean, there's a various amount of ways to hold mezzanine. However, this is just a simple strat if you want to solo queue with Azami that you can go ahead and do this. I'd also like to mention that if you're playing on top of Mez when you solo queue or with the stack, is that let's say there is no bandit or Cade or a mute to deny the wall. If Ace is going to throw his Ace charges on the main wall, you can go ahead and pop it very easily. Another thing you need to worry about is when holding into library, the attackers could get an angle onto you from the sandwich library window is what I like to call it. I'll go ahead and put a video so you can see how that looks like right now. This is the pixel peak. I went ahead and broke half of the wall. Normally the wall is going to be reinforced up to this point perhaps, but let me just show you exactly how that looks like. You can watch this all up to pretty much here, and the attacker can even, let's say you have an Ashe, right? Let's say you have an Ashe. Ashe can throw an Ashe charge here, and you can watch all this. Like, just imagine that, right? Like, you have an Ashe charge, boom, boom. You watch piano double from here. And I mean, you don't have to Ashe charge the head holes because a lot of the times, at least in the higher elo, a lot of defenders, they extend into mezzanine and they make the head holes, so the holes are there for you already. But if you see that can't see very well, I mean, you could just like shoot it out, to be honest. And same thing here. You could probably just bring a DMR, honestly. Bring like Dokkaebi. Bring Dokkaebi and just pop that. And, you know, it's easy to control. DMR hits hard, easy to control, and does a lot of damage. So this, you know, this is a crazy angle to have. So, and that angle is pretty disgusting. They could pretty much get a nasty pixel peek on you, and it's very difficult for you as a defender to kind of fight that. Rule of thumb for defending mezzanine is whenever you hear rappel, try not to peek the rappels unless you have the best aim in the fucking universe. But the whole objective of this strat is pretty much to waste a lot of time and utility while holding mezzanine. You might die in Mez many times until you get the hang of it. However, I do it all the time with my stack, and I love holding Mez. I love holding power positions. I love holding these type of aggressive plays. And even if I die, it's okay because I end up wasting a lot of time. The more practice you put into this strat and holding Mez, the better you will become as an overall player and also holding Mez itself. Trust me, you will be benefiting your team by holding Mez a lot of the time, because remember, as a defender, you want to hold as much space inside of the map as possible. And if you don't hold enough space, the attackers will have pretty much mezzanine for free for them. They'll have Mez completely for free very quickly in the round, working the main wall very quickly. So you, Azami, or it could be any other operator, whatever makes you feel comfortable. If you can hold Mez for a very long time, you're going to pretty much win the attacking round. What I meant to say was you're going to win your defense rounds. Also, there are repositioning tips that I'd like to mention here in the video as well. If you see that people are not pushing into library, something I like to do sometimes is I'll just play here. I'll literally just play here. I'll rat here. And I could pretty much just hold library from this safe location. And these little glass panels, they actually hide you very well. So sometimes I'll even like hide right here and people can't see me because it's kind of tainted, or it's kind of like dark. And it's just a strange angle to kind of fight. I've like defended this and hadn't gone there, and it's just like, it's just an angle that I never really go check, right? Because when you think about clearing this, you'll probably think about clearing here and face checking this, and then face checking right here. And then, you know, you're most of the time you're gonna be you're gonna be aiming head height, and the last place you'll check is pretty much under this shelf. Same thing goes with this side here. on top of Mez. Sometimes a lot of people don't really know you could upside down rappel on this. So when they open this window, I'll just hold this angle right here and they pretty much never see me. And it's always a free pick for me. At least that's my experience. You have to experiment on this side of the map and play how you like to play, okay? I do certain things that might not work for you, and you might do certain things that might not work for me. But the rule of thumb is stay alive. If you hear a rappel, try not to engage on those rappelling fights, because if they're upside down rappel, it's very difficult to fight those. And try not to fight towards slant, because again, you have head holes looking into slant, okay? Oh, and also, I forgot to say, the barbed wire, it's to give you sound cues when they're pushing top blue and top main lobby, okay? If they're pushing top blue, don't worry about it too much. Communicate to your teammates. Be like, hey, yo, they're pushing my blue stairs, right? They're breaking my barb. Can someone get on those head holes? Your teammate will help you out, and you can hold across, okay? So now you can hold across with your teammate. So now you're holding this, and your teammate is holding the head holes. So it's just really beneficial to hold Mez. You're very close to site, but that doesn't mean that you should go back into site. Again, I personally don't like going back to site. I like holding Mez until the end of the round. I usually end up dying in Mez later in the round after wasting a chunk of the attacker's time. With that being said, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope I didn't drag it too long. I will be streaming tonight on Twitch. If you'd like to watch me play, please join. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you like this type of content, and I'll see you on the next one.